Good morning friends. In today's session we are learning very important concept of electrostatics, that is Coulomb's law of electrostatics. Right? So before learning this law we shall understand in this nature we have totally there are four fundamental forces of nature. In first year physical world chapter we have seen the fundamental forces of nature are, do you remember them? There are four fundamental forces of nature. They are gravitational force, second one we have electrostatic force, next we have weak nuclear force, and then we have strong nuclear forces. I hope you remember these four forces. These are called fundamental forces of nature. Okay. To understand this gravitation law, we have already studied Newton's law of gravitation. Newton's law of gravitation. So what does that say? Newton's law of gravitation. It is also called universal gravitational law. Right? So for that, let us consider two masses. Let me have some two masses here. Let m1 is mass of first object, m2 is a mass of second object. Okay. Let small r is the distance between the centers of those two objects. And because of these masses, always there is some attractive force. Gravitational force, it is the attractive force between any two objects because of their masses, by the virtue of their masses. Whenever I have two objects which have masses, definitely there will be an attractive force between those two objects because of their masses. Right? So it is fundamental force already present in this nature. So that force I call it as a gravitational force, and the magnitude of that force, the magnitude of that gravitational force, that is given by Newton's law of gravitation. Newton's law of gravitation. So what does that state? If you remember it, the gravitational force between any two masses, is directly proportional to product of their masses. And this force is inversely proportional to square of the distance between those two objects. You can see from this equation, Fg is directly proportional to m1 into m2 and Fg is inversely proportional to r square. The same thing we can combine and we can write it as Fg is directly proportional to m1 m2 divided by r square. So this is definition of Newton's law of gravitation. This also we can write it as Fg is equal to capital G into m1 m2 divided by r square. So this is the Newton's law in mathematical form. Right? So again I repeat here, the gravitational force between any two masses is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between those two masses. And this gravitational force, as we know, this is by the virtue of their masses. Okay, ಎರಡು ವಸ್ತುಗಳಿಗೆ ತೂಕ ಐತಿ, ಮಾಸ್ ಐತಿ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಅದರ ನಡುವೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಂದು ಆಕರ್ಷಕ ಬಲ ಇರ್ತದೆ. There is always attractive force between those two masses. Right? Then similar to this gravitational force, let us consider two objects. Which are having charges q1 and q2. Let me say object 1 has charge of q1, object 2 has charge of q2. Okay. the electrostatic force between any two objects is the fundamental force because of their electric charges. I repeat again, the electrostatic force between any two objects is the fundamental force by the virtue of their charges. ಎರಡು ವಸ್ತುಗಳಿಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 100% ಅವೆರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ನೇಚರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ when we observe this gravitational force, it was always attractive force. Mass ಎಷ್ಟರೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, always there will be attractive force between these two masses. But in electrostatics what happens is this electrostatic force is attractive. This electrostatic force is attractive. This force is attractive if both charges are unlike. Both charges are unlike means those two charges must be opposite. If this q1 charge is plus, q2 charge must be minus. If this q1 charge is minus, q2 must be plus. Gravitational force ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಮಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟರೇ ಇರಲಿ ಆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡು ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಸಮೀಪರ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾವ. ಬಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಾವು ನಿನ್ನೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ರಿಪೆಲ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್, ಅನ್ಲೈಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಎರಡೂ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೇಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸೈನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡೂ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡೂ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗೂ ಕೂಡ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ force is attractive if both charges are unlike, and it is repulsive if both charges are like. Like charges ittu anta ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ there will be repulsive force. That is the property of electric charges, right? So you can see here the electrostatic force, the Coulomb's law. Charles Coulomb, he made lot of work in this electrostatics. He conducted so many experiments. After conduction of all these experiments, he came up with these results. This is sumsumne bandira result. The equation sumne bandirodilla. They have conducted lot of experiments. They have noted all the readings. Ella readings ದೂರ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್. ಸಮೀಪ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ನೋಡ್ತಾರ, ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಒಂದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರ. ಆ ತರ ಬೇರೆ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನಂತರ ಏನು ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾವ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ. ಓಕೆ, ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ Coulomb's law states that the electrostatic force between two charges is directly proportional to the product of two charges, the product of magnitudes of two charges. ಅದರ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, q1 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟೈತಿ, q2 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟೈತಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. This electrostatic force is directly proportional to product of magnitudes of the charges, and it is inversely proportional to square of the distance between those two charges. It is also almost similar to gravitation law. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅದಾವ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಮಾಸಸ್ ಇದ್ದು, ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಎರಡು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ. ಸೊ ಇವೆರಡು ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಕಾಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಕಾಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 2. both I can write in combined form as Fe is directly proportional to q1 q2 divided by r square. Okay, then this equation I can write it as Fe is equal to small k into q1 q2 divided by r square, where this k is constant of proportionality. It is electrostatic constant of proportionality. Is it clear? So this is mathematical equation for Coulomb's law of electrostatics. So this k value is also given by k is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon. ಇದನ್ನ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಎಪ್ಸಿಲಾನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಂಗ್ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂತಿದು, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟಲಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ result. Is it clear? So k is equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught. So this epsilon, so the symbol this epsilon is nothing but it is permittivity. It is permittivity of the medium. Permittivity of the medium in which these two charges are placed. What is meaning of that permittivity? Permittivity, so says here, so this medium ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is the medium in which these two charges are present. If I place them in vacuum or if I place them in air, so that air is the medium, right? So ಈ ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಒಳಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ, that is ಆ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, permittivity of that medium ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is the extent to which that medium allows electric field lines. Electric field lines ನಾವು ನಂತರ ಕಲಿತೀವಿ, right? So permittivity, it is the extent to which that medium allows electrical field lines between two charges, right? So the value of this epsilon here, force ಏನು ಬರೆದಿದೆ ನೋಡೋಣ, F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 divided by R square. So this force is in newtons. Okay, so this K is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon. If the medium is air, ಅವಾಗ ನಾನು K ಏನು ಬರೀತೀನಿ, ನಾನು epsilon naught ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. epsilon naught ಯಾವಾಗ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕೇಸಸ್ ನಾವು ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಏರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ if the medium is air, I write it as epsilon naught. So this epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. This air we also call it as free space or vacuum. So vacuum ಅಥವಾ free space into medium ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ that I write it as epsilon naught. It is also called absolute permittivity. It is also called absolute permittivity. Absolute permittivity. Is it clear? Right? Then what is the value of this? So this epsilon naught value, before doing the value, let us know the unit of this, right? So let me write Fe ಏನು ಬರೀಬಹುದು ನಾನು, Fe is equal to, in place of K I can write it as 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Okay, how to write the unit of this epsilon naught? To bring this here, so epsilon naught I will write it here 1 divided by 4 pi Fe into Q1 Q2 divided by R square. ಹೌದಾ? Then if I write the dimensional formula, epsilon naught in the square box ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ I am considering only the dimensions. So that is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi is constant. This is a number, it does not have any unit. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, Q1 is unit ಏನ್ರಿ, it is coulomb. Q2 unit is also coulomb divided by what is the unit of this Fe, that is Newton. What is unit of this R square, that is meter square. So this I can write it as coulomb square per Newton meter square. This is the unit of epsilon naught. This is how we have to write the units. Okay, then the value of this epsilon naught, it is 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12 coulomb square per Newton meter square. This is the numerical value of permittivity of free space, right? So then when I substitute epsilon naught here, the value of K becomes 1 divided by 4 pi into 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12. So that is equal to it is somewhere around 9 into 10 raised to 9. 9 into 10 raised to 9. What is unit of this K? You just check this equation here. I keep K here itself. R square I take it left side. Q1 Q2 I take it left side. So it becomes, see here, R square is here. So this becomes Fe unit, that is Newton. The unit of F is Newton. ಆರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಲ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಇದು ಕೂಲಂಬ್ ಇಂಟು ಕೂಲಂಬ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. if I take this left side, it will be the denominator. I can write it as a coulomb square. So this is the approximate unit of K. K is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. Is it clear? So these values we use many times when we are solving numerical problems. Is it clear? Right? So this is about Coulomb's law of electrostatics. I repeat again, Coulomb's law of electrostatics states that the electrostatic force between two charges is directly proportional to product of two charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between two charges. If the value of Q1 increases, see here, if Q1 increases, this F increases. Q2 increases, this F increases. If both Q1 Q2 increase, so this F again increases more. Then as the value of R increases, this force reduces. Is it clear? Because it is inversely proportional to R square. If distance is doubled, force gets reduced by 4 times. If distance is increased by 3 times, this force reduces by 9 times, because 3 square I should consider. If this R is increased by 3 times, the electrostatic force reduces by 9 times. That is meaning of electrostatics law of electrostatics. Is it clear? Then we have another concept, that is relative permittivity. I have something called relative permittivity. See here, let us consider two charges Q1 and Q2. Okay, let R is the distance between those two charges. In first case, let me consider they are placed in the medium A. Na ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ತಗೋತೀನಿ, Q1 ಮತ್ತು Q2. ಎಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ನಡೀತಿರೋದ್ರಿ R. ಆ ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು A ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಡ್ತೀನಿ. That is, they are placed in A. Then in second case, I consider same two charges Q1 and Q2, which are placed at the same distance. In first case ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಒಳಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. But it is placed in some other medium. Air ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ, ಅದನ್ನ it may be water, it may be any other liquid. So this medium it will be something other than air. Okay, so awaga let us consider the force between these two charges when they are placed in air, that is given by law of electrostatics, that is equal to K into athwa I can write it as 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 divided by R square. I am writing the equation of Coulomb's law. Okay, so in this case, this electrostatic force in the given medium, I can write it as Fm is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon m into Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Is it clear? So this relative permittivity, or this is also called dielectric constant. I have another name for this. This relative permittivity is also called dielectric constant, that is denoted by capital K. Then this relative permittivity, it is the ratio of electrostatic force between two charges which are placed at certain distance, which are in given medium, which are in air. It is the ratio of Fa and Fm. It is the ratio of electrostatic force between any two charges placed at certain distance in air medium and the electrostatic force between same two charges which are placed at the same distance placed in some other medium than air. right? So that is the ratio of Fa and Fm. Okay, so this Fa is the electrostatic force between given two charges placed at given distance in a air medium, and Fm is the electrostatic force between same two charges placed at the same distance placed in a given medium other than air. So when I substitute the values, this I will get it as Fa is epsilon r is equal to Fa is nothing but 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square whole divided by 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square. Here I have taken same two charges and the distance is also same, and hence I can cancel these two terms. I can cancel this 1 by 4 pi epsilon 4 pi also. So I will arrive at epsilon r is equal to Fa divided by Fm, that is equal to epsilon m. So this is epsilon m. So this is equal to epsilon m divided by epsilon naught. So from this equation I can also define relative permittivity as the ratio of permittivity of given medium and permittivity of free space. Okay, relative permittivity is the ratio of permittivity of the given medium and permittivity of free space or air, and this value does not have any unit, right? So if it is Newton here, denominator is also having Newton get cancelled. So this relative permittivity, it is unitless quantity. Okay, this is about relative permittivity or dielectric constant. It is also called a dielectric constant. Its symbol is capital K or epsilon r.